Thanks for tuning in for wine pairings and football predictions. Tonight is a great night because we have two football games happening and you have the choice of where you want to watch them. So you could either watch the Titans versus Miami, and that's going to be on all the ESPN channels. So ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPN Deportes if you watch your football in Spanish. Now, they're also at the exact same time going to be showing the Packers versus the Giants. I couldn't remember who the Packers were playing. The Packers versus the Giants, and that's going to be on ABC and ESPN Plus if you get your football games like through regular broadcast or streaming. Now, I'm going to start by saying that Miami should easily beat the Titans. I mean, they're much better. The Titans are way under 500, so that should be an easy win for them. Likewise, the second game, the Packers should be able to beat the Giants. The Giants are also under 500, but the Packers are only 500. But that's generally enough to just get you over the hump to get that game done. Now, I just realized that I left my wine in the fridge. But now I'm back. So the wine that we're going to be having today is a Austrian wine, and you can always tell this is a top, this bottle screw top, which is very common in Austria. And this mark right here, where it's red and white, this is the indication that it is Austrian wine and also that it is of the highest quality. So their ranking is called the DAC. As you know, we've talked about the DOC, the DOCA, the DOP. You know, these are different European ranking systems, but they essentially all rank out the same way in terms of like what's the very best, the second best, the third best, and then everything else. So today's wine is a style that we've had before on the show. It's Gemischter. If you'll remember, Gemischter is German for field blend. So that means any grape that they grow on this particular winery grounds can be put in this blend. So this is from Weingut Meyer Pfarrplatz. Okay, it's a little tough, so I'm going to bring it close so you can see the name. And what you're going to get here, this is a white wine, and it has the following. I also had to take notes because it had a lot of things in it. So it's 40% Gruner Veltliner, which is a white wine that's very common in Austria and has kind of a lot of citrusy notes. To me, it's very similar in quality to Sauvignon Blanc in the case that you wanted a Sauvignon Blanc that had a more astringent, tighter, kind of extra bright flavor. 30% Riesling, which Riesling generally is very popular in Germany, but it's also really popular in Austria. And then two grapes I'd never heard of before. 15% Zinfandler and 15% Rotgipfeller. And from these two grapes, because I had to do some extra research on them because I wasn't as familiar, we're going to get a lot of minerality, and then we're also going to get some herbaceous notes. So, and primarily the main note that we're getting is sage and a little bit of thyme. So it's a little bit savory, and it's a really nice wine to go with what we're going to be having today. There's two games, so we got two food items, but only one wine, because sometimes you only have time for one wine. We're having this particular Gemischter. As you can see, it has a nice clear color. And if you look really hard, you should see that there are some bubbles. And what you're going to get out of this wine is the first thing that you'll notice is it is extremely aromatic. And that comes from the Riesling and also from the Rotgipfeller. I had to look at how it was pronounced again, right? Because that wine has a lot of herbaceous notes. And then the Riesling has a lot of warm notes in it. So you're just kind of smelling a lot, you know. You're getting lime, grapefruit, a little bit of lemon. You're also getting sage, thyme. You're getting minerals. It has kind of a minerally smell. So remember, I've mentioned gravel in the past. It has a little bit of a gravel smell on it there. And the other thing is you're getting a scent of white fruit, particularly white peach. So when you drink it, it's first thing you'll notice, it's a little bit zesty. And when I say zesty, I mean to say that It is almost like sparkling wine in that it's a little bit bubbly on your tongue, but not as bubbly. So you're going to get a little bit of a zip right away. You're going to get that taste of all the citrus peel that I mentioned before. You're going to also get that low level taste of minerals. And if you're wondering what are mineral tastes, think about any time that maybe you stayed someplace and they had old pipes and then you get kind of a taste of iron. Or even when you cook in cast iron, you get a little bit of cast iron there and that flavor, you know. So it's a lot of rocks and, you know, kind of almost like a metally taste, but not bad and not as strong, right? And then, of course, you're getting the white fruit. You know, there's also a little bit of Asian pear in here, and that's coming from the Riesling. It's really super enjoyable, and the two food items that I'm having today are a kale salad with grains. I haven't decided which grain it's going to be, so I've narrowed it down to either farro or quinoa, and with kale and then, you know, nuts and cheese. It's really delicious. And then also a puff pastry with roasted red onion, hot honey, and brie on top. And, you know, right now it's the holiday time, so I'm having on the weekends a lot of creamy things, a lot of really rich food items. So during the week, I'm trying to offset that by having a lot of vegetables, which I'm not gonna lie is less exciting than you would think it is. But with delicious wine, that helps a lot. So I just want to recap that today we're having the Gemischter Satz. This one is from Weingutsmeier Pfarrplatz. Okay, it's right there. You can see it. We're having 2 great football games. Go ahead and pick the Dolphins and the Packers. Just decide which game you want to watch because it's on all channels. And I just want to remind you to subscribe so you can be here every time a new video drops. Come back after the game and you can see the food items I had with this wine. Talk to you later.